So today, we are back. Welcome back to the Opinion Based YouTube channel. Today, we are reacting to Cordae's new album, A Bird's Eye View. A Bird's Eye View. A bird's eye, I don't know. Regardless, before we get into the reaction, I do just want to say a couple words. I'm not the biggest Cordae fan, but I don't dislike him. I think The Lost Boy was a solid project, a great introduction into a rapper's discography. I think any rapper who releases a solid project as their first album, it's always a great start to their career. There's so much potential and possibilities that he could create better and more experimental albums in the future. Now, I have heard the two singles that he released before this album actually comes out. That would be Sinister and Super. I'm not a big fan of Super, but I do like Sinister, mainly for Lil Wayne's feature. I'm gonna be honest. But that doesn't mean that Cordae didn't do his thing on his verse and the hook, really flowing a lot better. I will say that I did see his freestyle as well with the LA Leakers, and it seems like Cordae's a lot hungrier this time around. It seems like he has something to prove, and it seems like he's really ironed out his flow as well. Because one of my bigger critiques with The Lost Boy was it felt like his flows weren't as clean as they could have possibly been, and obviously it being his first album, that was gonna improve regardless. But it's good to see that it's already improving on the second project. So, and it seems like his confidence is out of this world. He's super confident in his music, and that's always a good sign. So let's not waste any more time. If you're new to the channel, which could be a lot of you, go ahead and subscribe. You're definitely gonna like the video. Don't worry about that. And leave a like. It helps me get into the algorithm, and it helps build the channel up a little bit. We're aiming for 10K this year, so let's try to make that happen, you know, sooner than later.
Got a Merc 13, I was serving, nigga 15, Persian, nigga trying to be a cocaine cowboy, Michael Irvin, nigga 16, I was deep up in the trenches, hopping fences, round the time they gave my boy a light status 5, he just trying to see the sun before he got it down, so why would I?
Hey, he low-key going off. This voice note goes crazy. This beat is crazy already.
Ain't no verse, nigga, and I done dealt with the worst niggas, the type to steal your shit and search with you, nothing ordinary. I've been having vivid dreams, them shits is more than scary, underrated, overhated, I'm tired of the nonsense.
Yeah.
The death is the greatest surprise, I see the hate in your eyes, I saw potential at first, grew a resentment for earth, you lust for power too much, and it's getting worse.
He's going off. They set the tone for sure. He's setting the tone with this one. All right, cool. Yeah, that's an opener. That's a really good opener. The dark instrumental behind it with those really dark piano keys, the choir on the hook side, it just really sets the tone for his flow. His flow is real laid back, real gritty delivery, you know, real serious. And I love a lot of the punchlines and bars that he had in there. So really dope track. The next track would be Super, but I've already heard it, like I said. Not a huge fan of that lead single. It's not bad, but it didn't necessarily get me excited to listen to the album. Regular trap beat, you know, with the sample. Did his thing on it flow-wise, but he wasn't really saying much on there for me, and the bars didn't really catch me. But, you know, I know a lot of people really like that song, so I understand why it's here. So let's go on to the next song that I haven't heard.
I was riding through my mama hood, rolling in Jeep. I ain't playing with you niggas, boy, I'm playing for keeps.
Some old school shit.
See ass niggas try and prey on the weak. I ain't talking too much, I only say what I mean. Scheming on a text, steady plotting as I'm thinking on the next. Yeah. Confident, although I found myself compressed, overthinking, worrying, I must confess. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. See, playing with the flows, not staying so static and robotic on these beats, man. Play with the flows, man. That's what music is about nowadays. You know, it's not enough to just be lyrical. You really got to play with those flows. And I see he's doing it now. And it's really nice to hear.
The bottom of bottoms to the top of the tops. In that power washing van that I just bought for my pops. I talk to him every now and then, more often than not. We upgrading next time that I drop. But for now, I was riding through my mama hood.
Oh, I like the layering of the vocals on the hook too, where you can kind of hear it very faintly, where he's kind of playing with the inflection of his voice, where he's like, I ain't playing about the business with a mind of your own. Like kind of underneath the vocal. It might be a woman doing that, but I think it's him playing with his voice and kind of layering it underneath just that regular voice to kind of make it sound a little bit more more dark and a little bit more eerie. That's a really cool thing he did.
I heard the cage bird sing and it's a beautiful sound. And it'd be so much fucking better, dog, if you was around. Why they had to kill my nigga over a few little pounds. When I got robbed in high school, you even flew to the town. Hit all our classes, and now my nigga dead and gone. Shed these tears as I penned this song. Should've got him out, I'll right my wrong. Real nigga shit what I condone. Every nigga.
It felt like he was really recollecting on some of the things that he's been through, that were relative to the people who he grew up with, i.e. his father, his friend who he dedicated the song to near the end of it. So that was a really cool track, typical storytelling from Cordae. I feel like, once again, the darker take and, kind of playing with the inflection of his voice and the flows really made this a little bit more of an interesting story, opposed to just, kind of, using the same beat and kind of just rapping all of it. I feel like the way that he dressed it up is really nice. So let's go to the next one.
How come you ain't never flew me out? All my niggas talking about they getting flued out.
Are we dancing a little bit? I've been listening to Down FM. I could dance a little bit.
What do you need? I'm only a human, baby, and we all bleed.
Hey.
With vices or destroy with greed.
Hey.
With pride. Is it ever enough? Okay, what do you want?
The vocal cuts in the background. Ooh.
Woman was made from the man's rib, that's why we can't live. You be the judge, but ain't no Uncle Phil without an Aunt Viv. Mother Nature in love, she ain't the type who out all night that you could see in the club. We both share the same problems, we got too much pride. What do you want from me? Got nothing to hide, girl. Okay, come on, do you want from
oh, this is dope.
What do you need?
It's cool. He's talking about his girl, the duality that he's learning, how he feels a certain type of way one day, a certain type of way the other day, trying to, I like that. I like that. Basically saying neither person is perfect, but they make it work for each other. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
I clean house cause some only like to vandalize. Plotting on your downfall, although I plan to rise. Life's your biggest fucking test and this ain't standardized. Quite remedial.
That's dope.
I give you the world.
That was a jam. That was a jam right there. I love that. That was a dope track. Cordae's you doing it, man. You're doing. We're halfway through, and I want to say this is a really short album, and I love that because it really lets you know that he focused on no filler. Let's make it quick, concise. Tell the story I want to tell and let's get it done. And I love that approach, because Cordae could have easily came back with a 16-track album, 17-track album, 18-track album, put a bunch of features on it. And because I think Cordae could do both very well. But I love that, he's keeping his albums meaningful. I love that that's a theme with his albums is they're very much so personal. Obviously, we have tracks like Super and Sinister that are more rapping and not really honed in on a specific topic. But regardless, I think the majority of the album, I think, is going to be pretty focused. But let's get through it. Featuring Gunna, by the way.
Shit gon' line in place. I got the Porsche too early on my mama say. But card in decline today. Sun gon' shine, nigga, sun gon' shine today. I remember them cold nights. Fuck nigga still broke. Put on my men, nigga, put on my lil bros. Need a Brazil hoe. 2003, my cousin taught me how.
Okay, hold on. Hey, I just want to say. Cordae, he's like off but on with his flow. And then the piano's kind of off a little bit too with like the pocket it's sitting in. And it feels like everything's just slowed and a little late and a little early. And the whole track just feels so sloppy. Now, usually that would be a bad thing, but I'm vibing with it right now. I don't know why. I'm vibing with it. Ooh, hold on. What is the beat doing? Make up your mind. Oh, Gunna's about to slide. Hey, he's sliding. Gunna is sliding. Cordae is sliding. The flute going crazy. The mixing on this is great. I love it. Yeah, so I just said One For Me was my favorite track, but now I think we know how I feel.
Dream about a Dodge Charger. Suicide dough sitting on 24s. I was sitting in the house watching Coach Carter. Plotting on this fucking Cartier. Hey, dime piece sucking on my cucumber. I ain't doing too bad for a newcomer. This life shit.
I don't know why lines like that are so funny. I don't know why. Got a dime bitch fucking on my cucumber. You call it a cucumber?
Think about this road I'm on to acquire ends. I'm a fucking outlier, I retire these trends. Niggas told me I was stupid just for hiring friends. I used to dream about a Dodge Charger.
This is dope. I could tell Cordae was really in the studio working on his voice. You know, the singing on Lost Boy was decent, but I feel like it just feels a lot more effortless on this album so far. And even on the EP he released, Just Until, there was this track on there, I think it was called Dream in Colors. The singing on there was really smooth. You could really tell he's been in the lab just working on everything because he sounds so polished here. The execution's been great so far.
Him who is without sin, go cast the first stone. I used to dream about a Dodge Charger.
I like that. Ooh, who's that? H.E.R. And then obviously the next song is Sinister. I've already heard it, but you know what we about to do.
Identical, I'm not in it, my Siamese brother Benjamin. That's how I stick to him. These diamond bees, all BBs.
Okay, now let's go into the next one. Featuring H.E.R. and Lil Durk, by the way.
Yeah, I'm on this road, and I'm not sure where my heart is headed. And if you left me now, I know how far.
What did I tell y'all? I told you he's been working on his voice. I told you he's gonna flex. I told y'all he been up. You thought he was just chilling? I told you he was working. Come on now.
For that diamond necklace.
Yeah.
Tell me you don't need shit, girl, and I respect it. On the road, too much shit, kinda hectic. Not easy to impress. Always wanna know what's next. I go as deep as I can and make her shake like Tourette's and say,
nigga.
Lost ain't no thing, but trust it.
Is he harmonizing there too? Oh, she's sliding. That transition back into Cordae was so smooth, and it didn't feel like a hard contrast between voices. You know how sometimes when rappers, you know, take on the task of singing with other singers, like actual singers who do that for a profession, sometimes you're like, oh, okay, back to the non-singer. Or when those singing vocals come on, you're like, these are significantly better than what the rapper was doing. That transition into Cordae was great because he has the voice, but he also has that vibrato, that small amount of vibrato in his voice, and it's smooth. Like he's not struggling to hit those notes. You know, hats off to Cordae, man. That's really dope.
Street nigga buy all drugs, but you made a nigga buy you new titties. I made room. I care to make you love me, not make shade room. Ain't scared to say I love you, but to be honest, you can't leave soon.
Durk is a talent that I think a lot of people need to pay attention to. Like, I know it's easy to just put him in that category of like, you know, oh, like he makes like struggle street gospel. Like Durk on these features, man, it seems like his next album is going to be super crazy. I think we got to really start paying attention to Durk more, man. You know how I said today was my favorite track? Nah, that was my favorite track now. Featuring Freddie Gibbs and Stevie Wonder, specifically on the harmonica, by the way.
Okay, conversations getting complicated, I could tell ya. 15 was in them handcuffs for paraphernalia. I grew up in them trenches, boy, your house had wine cellar. If anybody ever had a problem, gave them hell. I got my auntie, brother's daddy, cousin.
I love his flow on this. The beat's doing like a really dope groove. Like, it's almost like the kicks are imitating a DJ scratch. Man, it's just dope, man. It's dope. I don't know if I explained that properly. I know the kicks aren't like a DJ scratch. I know that, but I'm saying like it feels like that in and out that they're doing. Like, I don't know if it's the compression on the beat. You know what? Let me not overcomplicate it. If you know, you know. Okay, actually, I'm gonna explain it now. It's like the kick is reversing before it actually hits. Best way I could explain it. If just listen to it and you'll know what I'm talking about.
Conversations getting complicated, investigated now. You can't shit on me, you pussy niggas is constipated now. Big VF for life, the biggest rabbit in the nation now. All up in your energy. Got her pregnant once I gave her backstage passes. Rapper that dirty, I know my shit dirty, I'd rather.
15 was in them handcuffs.
The way the track is building right now with the background vocals. Ooh. This is where Stevie Wonder comes in. Dope, man. That's clean. Woo. I love that track. I love that track. I like that it wasn't like super rapidy rap either. It was actually on some chill shit. Like even Freddie Gibbs came in with like some he wasn't really trying to bar out Cordae with that wasn't the point of that track. I also do really love that the instrumental went through multiple phases throughout the track. It had its progressions while Cordae was on it. But then when Freddie Gibbs came in, that's when the evolution really started with, the strings and the chords and like the kind of beat kind of dropped out a little bit and let Freddie Gibbs do his thing. And then it came back in. And then obviously with the end there where left room for Stevie Wonder to do his harmonica solo. So I love that track really evolved as time went on. And that being one of the longer tracks, I think that was a great way to kind of deliver a really solid 4-minute song. So we're coming to the end of our reaction together. I know you've had a lot of fun. I know you don't want to leave. I know. Hopefully he ends the album with a bang. I'm not going to be reacting to the bonus tracks. I want to do just the actual album because, I feel like the bonus tracks, I don't want that to affect how I feel about the album in any way whatsoever. So let's end it here.
Yeah.
One of those.
I just want to apologize in advance, really. If only I was wiser when I first discovered paper. If only Martin Luther never stayed at the Lorraine Hotel. Should he still be alive and well? My right wrist Audemars, left wrist a Patek. Fuck a ox cord nigga, throw that shit in cassette tape.
Yeah.
I went to Westlake High where death rates rise. I just bought a Range Rover and did a song with Nas. In the belly of the beast where the strong survive. Try and move past the lows and prolong the highs. But still I rise. I'ma be doing this music shit at the absolute highest level for a long ass time, man, as long as I want to.
That's it. That was from a bird's eye view. I almost fucked up the title again. So that was it, man. I mean, how do I feel about the album? Let's first talk about that. I think, without comparing it to Lost Boy or anything, just standalone by itself, I think it was solid. Another solid project from Cordae. I could see the growth. The verses were really well executed. Not a lot of filler on this album, if any, to be completely honest. I'd say with the exception of Super. If you enjoy that track, then there's no filler. But if you don't, i.e. me, that would be the only song I would remove off of this album. But honestly, I know why it's here. A lot of this album took itself very seriously. A lot of this album had a purpose. So I would say songs like Super and Sinister are on the album to kind of break up, the more serious, tracks, kind of help the track list flow a little better. Make it a more enjoyable listen, add a little bit of replay value to the album as well, just in case you don't want to listen to Mama's Hood every day, or you don't want to listen to Champagne Glasses all the time, or Jean-Michel. Like, what if you just want to listen to some cool shit? Then you got Super, you got Sinister, you got Today, you got C. Carter, you got Chronicles. Like, you have a lot of tracks that you could go back and listen to. And I think that's just one thing that I think Cordae was really focused on, was the joints, the tracks that are here have a lot of replay value. And even some of the serious songs have a little bit of replay value as well. I think you could go back and listen to these a lot, even if you can't personally relate. So I think the writing on here is a lot stronger and a lot more consistent. So shout out to Cordae, man. A really solid project. Do I think it's going to make a year-end list? Me personally, I can't say that right now. With it being such a short track list and having so many interludes and intros, I'd have to really sit with this and let some of these songs grow on me a little bit more. But for now, I don't see it making my year-end list, just based on the rumored albums that are going to be coming out this year. But regardless, I think Cordae achieved what he was trying to with this album, which is release another solid project with little to no fat. And I think that's a really hard thing to do, and something that not a lot of people are trying to do in the year 2022 with so many deluxe albums and so many long projects. I think he's really setting himself apart by just releasing something quick and concise that people could digest. On the night that it comes out, I'm already done listening to it, and it's not even 12 o'clock yet. So, Shout out to you, Cordae. Shout out to you. Cordae hasn't hit his ceiling. I think he has so much more room to grow, especially developing his singing voice. I mean, he sounded amazing on Chronicles with H.E.R and Little Durk. I mean, these are two voices that are very unique within the industry, and for you to set yourself apart from those two people, I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, that's everything I have to say about the album, guys. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. Did you enjoy it? If you didn't, let's have a discussion. Let's talk about it, because I truly believe there's very little wrong with this album. And I think if you don't like it, you just don't like Cordae, and that's fine, but no need to hate on him. Let's relax. Yeah, subscribe if you're new. Once again, if you made it all the way to the end and you were new and you still haven't subscribed, why not go ahead and subscribe now? You already watched the whole video. You must have liked something. And if you're not new, welcome back. I appreciate you. You really help out the channel. You keep the channel going and, you know, growing and staying alive. More reactions to come. Obviously, a lot of music just dropped. So do, you know, be checking back with me. Or if you're not going to check back, at least turn on the post notifications so you know when I post, so you know when to check me out. Besides that, guys, like I always say, enjoy the music while you can. Thanks for watching. Peace.